Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Jungle Mission Wave 1 3-pack at Target. We have Rise of the Beasts Cheetor, Nightbird, and Wheeljack. I'll admit, at first I wasn't super excited about this set. I didn't plan on picking it up, but then after I saw the movie, I really liked it. My backlog is insane. I need to show a picture of the giant box of Transformers I've got. So my goal is to hopefully do like multi-figure reviews to start catching back up. But here we have the 3-pack. It's 3 deluxes. And I'll say overall, I'm pretty happy with them. We'll start out with Cheetor here on the left. He's a remold slash, I don't know that he's sharing any actual parts, but he is a redesign using some shared engineering from Kingdom's Cheetor. I actually really like this look. This is obviously not movie accurate, but I dig it a lot. Something about the way these legs work, this fold-in piece feels a lot cleaner on the cheetah mode. I like, the expressiveness we have on his pounceable paws. I do wish we got ball joints here. We have some nice paint picking out spots, some brown robotic bits, things like that. He looks like a cool, trans-metal Cheetor. And then we've got a blue Maximal logo there. He's got yellow eyes, which I don't love. I do wish those eyes were maybe green. His mouth opens a little teeny tiny bit, not a ton. And then, yeah, like I said, his legs are posable. They can go out, they can go in. Because of the thigh joint, they can go out, so you can kind of get like a splayed out crouching pose. He's got waist articulation. The tail doesn't really do much. But yeah, overall, it's basically just a new version of the Kingdom toy, I feel. And it looks pretty dang cool, even if it's not, totally inspired by the movie. Next, we have Nightbird here. Nightbird is a teeny tiny deluxe car. Now that we've seen Studio Series Nightbird, I'm fine with this alt mode. I think I really appreciate the fact that we got like this purple paint on the rims. We've got, interestingly enough, like purple paint on the rear view mirrors, which is kind of funny. The side mirrors, black paint. A good mix of, I guess it's like a brass plastic, coppery plastic, dark gray, and then the purple paint accents. I like the weapon storage a lot. Rolls okay, not great, which is a little unfortunate. I feel like I keep trying to shove the fists up into a higher position, but they get caught on something and they keep like dropping down, and I'm not sure why. We've got, robot mode head hiding underneath, but it's a neat little car. And then finally we've got Wheeljack, and I love Wheeljack. Too small. Wheeljack should have been a Voyager, but I like this van mode a lot. I like the paint, the light blue headlights, the silver grille, TV Pablo on the side. It folds up pretty nice and neat. I think the paint match between the white paint on the blue transparent plastic and the white plastic is pretty good. Obviously, the white plastic is a little bit warmer, but overall it's pretty good. We surprisingly have the windshield wipers picked out in paint, which I wasn't expecting. And yeah, I think it's just very cute. And again, maybe this is my enjoyment of the movie biasing me a little bit, but I really dig Wheeljack. I do want to show some comparisons. Starting out, we've got Cheetor here. Oh, Wheeljack rolling. Rolls great. Rolls great. Okay, so Cheetor here. I was talking about the Kingdom Cheetor, and here are the 2 versions of the mold. And you can see again, I say mold, but that's not accurate. This is an entirely new mold. It's just sharing the same engineering. I'm surprised about certain things that were changed, like I guess it's because there is a more techno-organic look to the Rise of the Beasts, whereas Kingdom Cheetor was like all organic. But certain things feel like they could have leveraged some of the same parts, maybe the forearms or something. But yeah, there's how they look together. And again, they feel visually distinct enough that I'm kind of fine having both of them in my collection. And this is what I mean when I was talking about the back legs. This going down and hiding away just looks a lot nicer than this section. Overall, they're obviously Cheetor, so it's easy to compare them. But for me, I think they do very different things, so I'm kind of glad I've got both in my collection here. I do want to compare him to Studio Series Cheetor right here. And I'll say this, I like this toy more. Yeah, this is a Voyager, and yeah, this is technically more movie accurate, but man, do I hate the lack of articulation, especially the lack of a ball-jointed shoulder in cheetah mode is so disappointing to me that I like this toy more, especially in cheetah mode. It's bigger, sure, but Rise of the Beast Cheetor is really neat to me. All right, so there is those guys. We'll get Cheetor out of the way, bring Nightbird up, and here, you know, are Scourge's posse, and man, do I like the way they look together in alt mode. I think Studio Series is supposed to be like a remold of this, so I'm assuming the size will be about the same. But this is like a really good size. We've got the big old truck, we've got a medium truck, we've got a little sports car. This looks fantastic. This is the biggest reason I wanted to get the box set was I wanted a Nightbird after I saw the movie to fill out my Terror Cons. And yeah, they look terrific together. Again, it feels like Scourge could, you know, tow, you know, obviously if we had something to tow Nightbird. But yeah, that scene, I think they're like positioned like this when they're going through parts of, where were they, Peru? Yeah, I think it's a great convoy. The Terracons look awesome. And I love that they each have their own style. Scourge looks the most kind of menacing and ramshackle. Then we've got Battle Trap, and then Nightbird looks pretty clean. I think that looks fantastic. And obviously, I don't have any other Autobots right now from the movie to compare them to. But this is where I was saying I think Wheeljack should have definitely, it's just a weird scale thing. And obviously this is not Studio Series, so I would love to get a Studio Series Wheeljack, and then he'll be a little bit bigger, more Voyager-y. But yeah, overall, it's a fun little set in alt mode. We technically haven't done any of these transformations at all, so let's get to it, shall we? We'll start with Cheetor. He's the most familiar because he is pretty similar to the Kingdom mold, but there are some differences. We're going to take off his tail, fold it back to reveal a kind of sword spear thing, come in on the front end. His arms can fold up and out of the way, which lets you separate out the chest piece here and lets you pull this head down and out of the way once you get his robot mode arms. So you pull the chest piece down and out of the way, get the robot mode arms, get his belly gun, and I love that he comes with a belly gun. We're going to fold that out. Real shame that this didn't come with the Kingdom figure. So we've got his two accessories. Now with the robot mode arms up and out of the way, we can bring down the whole section here, front of his like cat neck, I guess you'd call it. We can flip up his head, bring things down. There's tabs on the side of his torso that go into his back, like so. And then we can just push the head, the cheetah head, down and in like so, bringing these arms down. I do wish, this is a point, they come together and they touch. It feels like a simple tab and a slot back here would have kept that a little cleaner. And we've got his arms and upper body done. We can come in, actually, we can come in and press in his collar there. And then when we straighten these out in cheetah mode, it's pretty simple to come in, and there is a hinge here to open up into two sections, and we're just going to flip around. There we go. His robot mode leg. So his foot comes out, his cheetah leg goes into his robot mode leg. Same thing on this side, flip it around, and then we can just twist his oh no, we don't twist his torso, we just twist the legs. I forgot about that. And yeah, here we have Cheetor in his robot mode. We're going to give him his sword, tail blade whip, his gun, and he's going to stand in the back like a good boy for the rest of the robots. All right, next we've got Nightbird here. First thing we're going to do is pop off her spoiler, which turns into one of her swords, and then a like forearm claw thing that you put together like so. Next we can come in here on the back. We're going to fold up this section to free up some space, and we're going to open up these side doors here. There's a tab and a slot right here that they're going to click together like so. Same thing on this side. Bring them in, bring out the arms, and they can come straight up and out to make room. And this lets us get the hips out of the way. I always struggle, and this is probably a me thing, not so much a toy thing. The hips kind of curl up and fold into the toy, and I struggle to get that angle right. So I will say it took me like transforming into alt mode a couple times every time I transform into alt mode to get everything lined up right. But you can separate out those side hip skirts pieces to fold out the leg, and you want to kind of move it up and bring it down. There we go, to get it out. So instead of like spinning it one way, you want to kind of bring it down that way and then bring down the foot like so. And then same thing on this side. It's always a little easier the second time, I find, once you get like one of the hip pieces loosened up, because there's a I don't know if the camera is going to get into it. There's two slots here that those hips kind of lock into with the tabs right here. And once you get one, it feels like it's easier to get the other one. Bringing down this foot, and then we've got these legs ready to go. Flip them around on both ends. Awesome. And then with her arms out of the way, we can come and fold down the front of the car hood, fold that top of the car hood piece in so we can swing the whole torso section down. There we go. Lock it in place. Bring down the arms. Bring out her wings. Her legs, her high heel legs are already out. And then the back of the car mode can just fold up, and it's going to tab in and then collapse on itself. So in this case, her wings, instead of being on her back, are kind of on her shoulders. We've seen the Studio Series figure, which I do not like the look of in robot mode. I'll be really interested in seeing how that one turns out. And then I've got, yeah, the toe pieces feel like they always want to pop off a little bit. I prefer the wings on the shoulders here. We can give her forearm hook and one of her swords and set her in the back. There we go. They're all... Do I put all my robots in the same pose? Well, we'll test that with TV Pablo here, Wheeljack. Take his gun off, come in, fold, not fold, but lift out these shin pieces just to give us a little clearance. Pop out this undercarriage piece that's going to become his suspenders. Pop down his arms on each side. You're just loosening things up. And then we're going to pull out his feet from back here so that we can fold him out. And now we can start unfolding his legs. We're going to fold his feet down, split them. We can fold down, there we go, split those. Now that these pieces have already been loosened, we can bring them down and they form his shins. And I really like that. And then up, let's put these two a little further back. Bring down the leg and then fold back those two pieces of his car side. And then the struggle with him is his shoulders. And I want to make sure I do this correctly. I want to separate, I want to open up the car windows. Yep. Van windows on either side. It lets me separate out the van top of the windshield with the front of the van. First, I want to get his wheels and shoulders out of the way. There's a double hinge back here. And that lets me fold these windows down, and once those are out of the way, the shoulders go all the way back, and now we can fold down the top of his front of his van section, kind of down like so. Get it around his head. There we go. And then when that comes down, we can fold up or lift up his headlights, which gives some three-dimensionality to his chest, which I appreciate. And then his torso will collapse down onto a single joint like so, kind of accordion down. And with that down, it locks into place, and then his suspenders come in, and the headlights kind of lock over him to give him his signature look. And the very last thing we need to do is just drop down his windshield. It's on a slide. There we go. And here we've got Wheeljack holding his gun, and I'm going to purposefully put him in a different position so I'm not tempted. And yeah, his suspenders always come loose, which is a little annoying. Bring those in. But he also looks pretty good. So yeah, we've got, you know, 3 little deluxe spots with some fun, unique transformations, a little frustration here and there, but overall I'm pretty happy with the transformation side of things. Before we dive into all the robot mode features, it is time to announce the winner of last week's giveaway. I was doing Transformers Legacy Evolution Toxitron from the Toxitron collection, so let's go see who our winner is. All right, it is time to announce the winner of Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Toxitron. And I guess right before I announce the winner, I have the prizes still from my a couple giveaways ago, not the last one. And the winner hasn't gotten in touch with me, so I want to make sure I give them one more chance to get in touch with me before I give them out to someone else. So I believe, yeah, it's the Beast Alliance Weaponizers and the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Jazz. It's a pack of all 3 figures. The winner of that one hasn't gotten in touch with me, so go check that video, see if you won, and then reach out to me. All right, that is enough babbling. Let's get to it. So let's organize these by oldest to newest. We had a lot of people enter. I figured this would be a popular one. I think I had 42 entries, which is awesome. If you answer the giveaway question of the day, you got a heart. That's how I keep track of everyone who entered. 42 entries. Let's see who won Toxitron. Rand between 1 and 42. Our winner is number 31. 31 is someone named The Dano 403. Congratulations. Repaint of Needle Nose. I dig that idea. Getting more of those, like, I guess is this Titan's Return Needle Nose, or I guess it's the new Needle Nose. But like, getting more neon jets, I'm always down for. Congratulations to Dano. Again, reach out to me, let me know in the next video or this video in the comments, or reach out to me on Twitter, on Mastodon, Threads. There's so much social media now. Arbitrary Hero, wherever you may find us, and we'll get Toxitron packed up and sent to you as soon as possible. Congratulations again. Let's get back to the review. Congratulations again to the winner of last week's giveaway. So we have them all in robot mode, and let's talk about the set first before we start doing more comparisons. So you pay $60 and you get 3 deluxes, and overall I'd say I'm pretty happy with them. I think surprisingly for me, my absolute favorite of the set is probably Cheetor. His articulations, all the same standard stuff. I like that blue Cheetor head. Again, not very movie accurate, but looks pretty good. 360 on the shoulder, can go out. Bicep swivel, 90-degree bend on the elbow. We do have wrist articulation, which I appreciate. For both modes, we can kind of get some useful wrist articulation there because of the ball joint that's inside the forearm. We do have some waist swivel. We don't get a very good Van Damme split because of the way the thighs are cut, but we do have a nice deep past 90-degree knee bend, and we do have some ankle tilt. So again, you can get some pretty dynamic poses here with Cheetor. And again, I love the style of him. He's got like big old stomping boots. Like that silhouette line looks really good. My biggest complaint would probably be I kind of wish the cheetah head came down a little bit further. But as is, I think he looks pretty dang cool. Really nice blend of techno-organic stuff. Just a neat look, a neat design for the Maximal. Nightbeat here. I'd say out of design-wise, she's probably the weakest out of the 3 of them. My main complaint is going to be her legs. I think the feet want to collapse in on themselves all the time, and her legs and just her torso. She has this like weirdly long torso piece. I don't know why it's as long as it is, because it's just like extra plastic hanging off the back. It just makes everything else look weird. It makes her proportions look weird. In terms of articulation, I mean, we do have, I guess before articulation, we do have a very nicely sculpted and painted head. That looks pretty fantastic. It can tilt and wiggle in all the places you need it to. Obviously, the shoulders are totally unimpeded, which is nice. They can go up really, really high due to transformation joint there. The wings kind of go out that far. We do have elbow articulation, elbow twist, and 90-degree bend. No wrist articulation, which is a shame. We do have waist articulation. Things start clashing here, which is a bit of a shame. And we do have a front kick, a back kick that clashes into her back. Not a very deep articulation at the thigh or the hips. We do have thigh swivel. We have a really deep knee bend because of the way that transformation worked. 90 degree, if you just use that, we can curl the whole thing, no problem. And then we do have ankle tilt. So again, she's a struggle to pose out of the three of them. You got to kind of move her skirts out of the way, get things lined up just right. I do like her accessories. Her sword, I wish there was a way to clip this in on the side, but if there is, I just don't see how it's done. It's like you've got these slots here. If there was a tab at one of these locations to just put that in as a sheath, that would be really neat. Other than that, I mean, she's got 5mm pegs in her hand, or ports in her hands and on her forearms. She's fine. She's a representation of Nightbird, and right now the bar for that, I guess, is pretty low. Wheeljack, I like his design a lot. He falls in the middle to me mostly because he's just a little loose. My copy is anyway. We do have that lovely Wheeljack head. It has grown on me a lot. We've got the weird robot lips, but I like the glasses. I like his whole look. I dig it. We've got 360 on the shoulder, obviously. Can go out that high, and the hinge sits out a little further. We do have some, what do you call that, butterfly jointage. We've got 90-degree bend and twist at the elbow and bicep. No wrist articulation again. Fine swivel, can go all the way around. Again, not a super deep Van Damme because of the way his hips are cut. A lovely 90-degree bend that kind of just goes back into transformation jointage, which is really funny to me. I dig that. And then big old feet that can articulate on a ball joint. So again, he, out of the three of them, is kind of sits in the middle, I feel, mostly because, again, things are just a little loose over here. But I like the engineering and design of Pablo a lot. So how do they compare to the rest of the Transformers? Well, first, again, let's start with Cheetor. I think it's a very unique design. I think compared to Kingdom Cheetor, they look great kind of next to each other if you have a Cheetor collection. I like the different interpretations of Cheetor. Next to Studio Series Cheetor, he's obviously smaller, but again, he feels better in hand. Yeah, this is like the more accurate version, but the only thing I think I like more in this version more than that version is just the green eyes. Everything else, like, I just like this design more, even if this is what ended up on the screen. This Cheetor feels a little awkward to... Oh, I got his legs backwards as part of it. He feels a little awkward to pose. Something I think about, and I realize this, he's got long shins. He's got short little shins, and that, like, affects the proportions a lot. It does seem like a bit of a miss to me for Studio Series. Even though this isn't screen accurate, I prefer this Cheetor out of the two of them, and even out of the three of them. When I was doing transformation, this has the best transformation out of the three of them. I like the techno-organic bot mode, and I like the techno-organic alt mode. I really like this Cheetor, and I was expecting Cheetor to kind of be the throwaway figure of this set. All right, next, talking about Nightbird. she, out of the three Terracons, feels like the weakest. Not just in terms of, let me scooch my camera up. I mean, in terms of power level in the movie and everything, but just as a toy. Obviously, this is not the Studio Series figure, but in robot mode, like, these guys are flexible and powerful and things like that, and she just feels very compromised. Because the Studio Series figure feels like a remold of this, I'm curious to see how that one's going to turn out. Again, I really don't like the feet. I think I like the wing interpretation here. I like the head sculpt. I like the color change. It's a lot more of that like coppery bronze color. I just wish that the articulation ended up better. And then again, this weird like tab here, this section feels extra, doesn't feel necessary. But she does complete the set. So I even though I think I like her the least out of the three figures, she was the reason I bought the box set, was because I really wanted these three together. And they do look pretty dang good together. I like how that looks in general. All right. And then Wheeljack, right now, since I don't have any other Autobots, he's kind of going to stand on his own. But I do like me Wheeljack. I think, again, he's just, my only problem with him is he's loose. His transformation is neat. It's pretty clever. His design is very unique. Like, he's going to be a part of my shelf, even if I get rid of the others at some point. And you know what? I'm wondering if I want to keep the shoulders like this. Maybe that's how they're supposed to go, instead of being out like this. Like this. That's probably more correct. I like that they did his suspenders. I like that the suspenders have, like, a physical point that they tab into, even if it's not super strong. I like his like little kind of thick boy proportions. I like the colors. I like this. If you look, like, these are two different shades of this bronzy plastic. I like this one better. The paint is real nice. He's just a little loose, but it's ball joints that can be tightened up with future floor polish. So in terms of where I rank these, like, Cheetor surprised me how much I like him. I think Wheeljack's my favorite. I think he's my favorite, then Cheetor, then Nightbird, which surprised me because I expected it to be kind of Nightbird, Wheeljack, Cheetor. But yeah, overall, as a box set, I think you can't go wrong if you're looking for some movie figures. These feel fun in hand. They're nice and simple to play with. I've been enjoying transforming them back and forth. They're cool designs, even if they aren't necessarily the most movie designs. But this is where, like, I feel like these mainline designs are more interesting to me right now than Studio Series, because the Studio Series designs, like the Studio Series Cheetor, like, he's kind of like the movie Cheetor, but he still doesn't look super accurate, and he also isn't as fun to play with, whereas this one is way more fun to play with. So I wish that they waited on Studio Series. They just did this line, and then next year they did Studio Series of Rise of the Beasts, where we got super accurate versions of them. But as is, I think this is an easy recommendation. It's $60 retail. I think I saw it on Target as like a buy two get one free sale or something. So you could potentially get it for like 30, 45 bucks, that sort of thing. And it's, you know, 3 fun little deluxes. Easy recommendation. I'm rambling at this point. That is it for today's video. Next week I'll be traveling, so no giveaway this week. And keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day. Bye.